Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beat the Book. As always, I'm one of your hosts on this show, MattyBets, joined by always my partner over here,
BigAL Bettor, how we doing, people?
BigAL Bettor. How are we doing today? I'm doing
We are
good.
good, man.
We got Monday Night Football coming up. We got a doubleheader, first one of the year.
hmm
I think we also have another treat next week too, another doubleheader back to back.
I believe you're correct. Believe you're correct.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna jump into both these games. We'll have another video coming out with the other one a little bit later on. But first of all, we're gonna jump into the earlier of the two, which is Jacksonville Jaguars versus at the Buffalo Bills.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's jump into that thing real quick. We got Bills 5.5 point favorites over on FanDuel.
Correct. They are 5.5 on DraftKings as well. If you guys are new to the channel, that's Matt is using FanDuel. I use DraftKings, and we just kind of use those two books. Always, like we say, shop around any books. If you're able to use all the books, use all the books. Find the best lines. Shop around. It's how you maintain kind of an advantage over the books.
Yep, exactly. We got so Bills 5.5 point favorites, and then we got the over under set at 45.5.
Correct. 45
Kind
and
of
a
like
half. I have the
from
same
what
number.
from what we've seen, kind of seems like a very general number, like mid 40s is kind of where the book tends to lean for decent games.
Correct.
Uh,
Yep.
Obviously, not two super great defenses, but Bills obviously shown that they can still be a high-powered offense without Stephon Diggs. They showed that
Correct.
last week against the Dolphins. Uh,
Yep.
where are you leaning here? I'm leaning definitely on the 5.5 for the Bills to
Okay.
just defend home field, just win that game by probably 10 points or something like that. I don't like
Okay.
any alt spreads. Like what we do here is just we take the book at what they have. So I do like Bills
Correct.
there at -5.5, and I also kind of like the over. And you're probably gonna like try to convince me to take the under, but I do like the over in this game too. I think Jacksonville's it's still a young team, but I like the weapons that they have. Trevor Lawrence can still sling the ball all over the field. Uh, Bills defense, as we know, isn't super great, so I could see Jacksonville putting up some points here. The Bills obviously defending their home and putting up some
Sure.
points to keep up with them. But that's
No,
where I'm leaning
absolutely.
here.
I'm on the opposite side of you on the spread. I'm going to give the Jags plus 5.5. The Bills are 2-0. They aren't feeling too much pressure. They're just coming in, dominating, doing their thing, which is a reason you could take them minus the 5.5 like you're doing. But I think the Jags, they've kind of got their backs a little bit against the wall. There's a lot of noise going around whether or not they're actually good or not. So I'm going to take the Jags to bounce back and not lose by more than 5.5. So I'm going to take the Jags plus the 5.5. And I'm with you on the over. We saw last week that Dolphins game. The Dolphins didn't even do a lot, and
Yeah,
that game should have gone over, and
yeah,
we
it was
got
so
robbed.
close.
We got robbed. So I think the Jags, Trevor Lawrence isn't going to get hurt the way Tua got hurt,
Yeah,
and they have weapons, and they're going to be able to score points. And if they're able to keep the game close, the Bills will actually be inspired to score. Like the Bills left tons of points on the field against the Dolphins, so they're going to be
yeah,
able to score also. So I like the over as well. And with that being said, we can just jump right into our head-to-head picks. As you know, guys, we do a head-to-head where we pick one of the either the spread or the over/under. We commit to it, and then we're tracking that over the course of the whole season. So I'm going to commit to the over 45.5. I trust that a little more than I trust the Jags to cover the 5.5.
yeah. See, I want to join you there. I do, but at the same time, it's like I want the viewers to also, be able to keep a running total and be like, oh, they're against each other, and I like to try to keep that the same. So I'm gonna take the Bills at -5.5 as my pick,
Okay.
and I do feel really comfortable about that too. I like it a lot for Bills to
Okay.
defend and win by a touchdown. So
Okay.
hmm
Well, with
after
that,
that,
let's hop on into our four pick parlays, guys. As you know, if you've been watching the channel for long enough, we're on week. I mean, this is the end of week 3 right now. We do for the primetime games. We do four pick parlays where we pick four prop bets. We give them to you. It's normally anywhere between 500 plus 2,000. Um, Sometimes it gets a little higher, but we try to keep it in that range. And we pick four picks for you guys, and then we also bet it ourselves. Usually, it's just a half unit play. It's not like this guaranteed thing, but it's just fun because we think parlays are fun. So
yep.
with that being said, Matt, why don't you tell me what your four pick parlay is for this game?
All
What are
right,
you liking?
cool. With these four pick parlays, I don't think I will ever not have a touchdown score in it, and maybe that's why I haven't hit one yet. As of
Okay.
right now, the running total is Allen has hit two, and I have not hit one yet. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe we have to take off the guaranteed touchdown. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw James Cook in there. He's the favorite to get a touchdown in this game at +125. Throw him in there, joined by Josh Allen, 40 plus rushing yards. That's at +150. Last week he did not hit, but that's because they were kind of in cruise control the whole entire game because Tua got hurt. So,
Correct.
yeah. Next we're going James Cook rushing and receiving yards at 80 plus, and that's at minus 135. And then last but not least, we got Dalton Kincaid at 25 plus receiving yards, and that's my lowest one, and that's at minus 265.
How many yards?
25 plus.
25 plus receiving.
At minus 265, and that pays out a total of plus 1,059.
Plus 1050. I actually kind of like that. Like the James Cook touchdown has to happen, but he did have what 3 last week.
Yeah.
And then obviously the rushing yards for Josh Allen that was a problem last week in the parlay we had on the Bills game because we both had Josh Allen for rushing yards and he didn't really run at all.
He didn't have to. Yeah,
But
he had one.
James
He had,
Cook, I think. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that he had one like rush where it's like, oh, he had like 10 yards, and I was like, oh, dude, this could be it. Like he could get 25 with this, but when he's playing with a lead, he doesn't actually have to like bulldoze people, and he literally went 1 yard and just fell to the ground. He was like, hey, we'll get it on the next play. So.
Right. The only thing I don't like about this parlay, and I do like it, I'll probably play this one as well. But the only thing I don't like is like it's just all Bills. There's no like there's two teams playing this game. You're just like, frick the other team. We'll just take one team.
We're just going straight on the Bills because I think it'll be high scoring. So take the guys that you know perform. Like Jacksonville is still too much of a question mark for me to take prop bets for their players. So, in my opinion.
I respect it. Okay, so I'm going a slightly different approach. I'm going to go with
all Jags.
I've got Trevor Lawrence to throw. No, not all. I'm split 50-50, like I always am, which is why I tend to hit more. Trevor Lawrence for 225 plus passing yards. James Cook 70 plus rushing yards. Travis Etienne 60 plus rushing yards, and then Khalil Shakir for 40 plus reception yards.
Okay, I like this Shakir pick a lot.
It pays out plus 2,500.
Lord, yeah. So like you said at the beginning, we sometimes go over.
I have no idea how it got that high because none of those. The only two that are plus money is James Cook and Travis Etienne.
Okay.
And they're not even like big pluses. It's like plus 120 plus. So I was shocked when I looked at the total and it was like plus 25. I was like, I don't see how, but I have to bet it.
I'll take it. Yeah.
I liked those picks just on the thing, and I thought I'd get to like 1,000, and it's plus 25. So I was like, have to take it. So those are the 4 picks. I think that one probably hits.
Okay.
Because James Cook was running, and they took him out early. And he got either over 70 or he was really close to 70 just on rushing. And Etienne's yet to have like a really, really big game. So I think, and 60 is not even like a huge game. It's just a good game.
It's not, yeah. 60 should be doable for Etienne.
So, yeah, so I really like those. I really like those picks.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's jump into some touchdown scores. If you guys don't know, if this is your first time tuning in, we always give you guys touchdown scores. Like I threw in my parlay, I had James Cook touchdown. We like to give you guys a couple touchdown scores if you like to play that. Then at the end of it, I always have a reach play that's at least plus 500. Usually around there, sometimes a little bit lower, sometimes a little bit higher. I did hit on one earlier this year that was a plus 600 and Alan Lazard for the Jets, their first game, I think. So, but
it was the first game.
So let's go right in at it. We're gonna go James Cook off of the 4-pick parlay that I already had, plus 125. Next, we got Dalton Kincaid at plus 230. And then, like you said in my 4-pick parlay, we had no Jags. I'm going to take 2 Jags here with my last 2 picks. We got Brian Thomas at plus 230. And then we got Tank Bigsby as our reach play at plus 450. He's their backup running back, I believe. So.
Okay. So Cook, Kincaid, Thomas, and Bigsby.
Yep. Those are my guys that I like to score touchdowns this week.
Okay. I don't have 4. I just have 3. I took Khalil Shakir. I think he's due for an end zone trip. I've got James Cook just because of the performance we saw last week. It seems like he's a big part of the offense. And then I have Travis Etienne because I think he's had a slow start to the season, but he is a big part of that team. And him and Trevor Lawrence played in college together. So I think he's going to get activated here in either this week or the next week. I expect him to just start becoming like an integral part of the offense, and so far he hasn't been that big of a piece. So I just think he's due. He's due to just start to become the guy we know he can be.
Yeah, he needs that breakout game. Like last year, he was the guy over there for Jacksonville. Like he had a great year last year. So we're kind of just waiting on him to do that. That's why I didn't put him on here, but I understand why you did and where you're at with it. But
right, I'm trying to get a little ahead of the curve, so that way can be a profit, kind of predict these things,
And that's really where you make your money at the books too. is by knowing what's going to happen and then going and betting it and then cashing it before
Right,
the book
right.
gets on track. Yeah.
And ETN's plus 100 on DraftKings, Cook is plus 100 on DraftKings, and then Shakir's plus 180. So there's some good value with Shakir if he's able to find the end zone.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously he's not even at plus 200, so the book thinks that he can score too. So
Oh, absolutely,
mhm.
absolutely.
He's the number one over there. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah. But other than that, I think that's all we got for you. Anything else to add up?
No, I just enjoy the game, guys. It should be a great one, and we appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Yeah. Well, after that's all been said, like you said, I'll double down on it. Enjoy Thursday or Monday Night Football. Gosh, it's already Monday Night
Hmm.
Football. I can't believe it.
I know it's crazy.
Enjoy the first of the doubleheader this week, and stay tuned and get ready for next week's doubleheader as well. And until next time, we'll see you guys in the next video.